Thank you everyone for joining us today. There's just a few things that we want to go over and cover for your arrival for the National Junior Angus Show. The first thing I do want to mention is that this is a Teams meeting and it is set up as a webinar, so this is probably a little bit unfamiliar for everyone that's in the Zoom world. We use Teams, so your camera and mic have been muted and you aren't able to unmute or turn your cameras on. To ask a question, you can either raise your hand, we'll unmute you so you can ask that question, or type your question into the chat feature and I will monitor that and then we will answer all of those questions at the end. But if there is a question, either write that in the chat feature, we'll address it, or if you're like, this is actually pertaining to this topic and I want to make sure I clarify whatever Caitlin and Jordan say, then definitely raise your hand and we can unmute you for that. So the little bit of what we are going to cover is just the arrival information. What do entries look like? What's the move-in process? If you're familiar with the Louisville facility at all, you know it's under construction. So what does that look like for our event? And then Jordan will go through some of the schedule, the processes that will happen when you get to Louisville. So first thing, entry-wise, this is what we have for entries as of today. So bred and owned heifers are up. Same thing with owned heifers from actually every category is up in comparison to what we were last year. So 600 or 1,643 total entries with 704 exhibitors. And 36 states, 2 of which are from Canada. Arrival information. The first thing I want to mention is that, yes, the facility is under construction, but they have also closed Interstate 65 down between the Ohio River and the Kentucky Expo Center. This was included in the confirmation packet. This is a map of where the Kentucky Expo Center is in comparison to the construction. I was just in Louisville 2 weeks ago and had to take the I-64 route to 264 and come in that way, and I didn't have any traffic issues. So once you get to Louisville, you should be okay. I would recommend, from a Louisville local, he said that he goes either super early in the morning or after hour traffic just so he can avoid it altogether. So if you have the ability to come during those times, he said I would highly recommend coming during those times. So this was included in your confirmation packet. I believe the website to track all of this information was included as well. When you get to the Kentucky Expo Center, all trailers, and that includes semis, will be required to enter through the B lot. The B lot is down here where it says move in stop 1 is the vet. So that is the B lot. If you have been to North American, All American Angus Breeders Futurity, the last couple of years, this is that first step, first process for all livestock trailers. You will come in, the vet will inspect your health papers, and once that process has happened, you'll go to what is labeled on here as Lot W. That's going to be the trailer staging. From there, once there is a spot, you will go across what we're calling the crossing from Lot W. And there's a small path that isn't necessarily a gate for Kentucky Expo Center, but is a gate that we will use for move-in. There are 3, you'll be given at Lot W, you will be given one of 3 choices: unloading area A, unloading area B, unloading area C. Those depend on where you are stalled at in the barns. If you are on the north side of the west wing, you will be given unloading area A, and that is your designated zone to unload in. If you are on the south side of the west wing, unloading area B is going to be your designated unloading area. And then if you are in the west hall, you will be given area C. When there's a mad rush of trailers, that's just, as far as construction goes, it's just how we have to do it to keep traffic all flowing in one direction and not having a pinch point. So if you are in unloading area A, you are going to just kind of follow the construction zone. You can see that, Jordan, I don't know if you want to kind of follow that green line where lot A will be. That is the construction zone of the new building. There is going to be some construction back there. However, the fence will be taken and pushed closer to the new construction build and allow trailers to pull in, and you'll need to back in for prime access. The host state also has carts and little side-by-side carts that will help people get from things from their trailer to their spot in the barn. For B, unloading area B, you have to go all the way around the facility, and you're going to be like, guys, this just does not seem correct. However, it's one-way traffic around that big circle of champions. So then you'll come up through Kentucky Kingdom. There's a parking lot there right at the corner. You'll pull into that parking lot and unload from there. Unloading area C is, there's only 3 states that will be utilizing that. Texas, Colorado, and Louisiana will be utilizing that. There is a loading dock and a small overhead door that you will be able to back your trailers into to get into the West Hall. So stalling depends there for the majority of the barn in the west wing. Those wooden 10-foot panels that has been of North American of previous junior nationals, that is what those wooden 10-foot panels will look like. However, if you are in the West Hall, or if you are Iowa, Nevada, New Mexico, you will have the red panels, which are on the right-hand side, the red 12-foot panels. Those are a small section in the West Wing. So if you are Iowa, you are Nevada, you are New Mexico, you're Texas, Colorado, or Louisiana, you will have those red panels. Everyone else will have the wooden panels on the left-hand side. All of the traditional tie-out panels will be those red ones, as well as shown on the screen. And then there is a picture of what the mulch will look like that will be provided in traditional tie-outs and in the barns. I mentioned this, Kentucky Expo Center is under construction. So that does have a little bit of a workaround that we'll need to just be aware of and be gracious with the staff and the roads that we're able to take. So stalling, like I have mentioned, is in the West Wing and the West Hall. That's indicated in red on the map. The show ring is Broadbent Arena. That's indicated with the blue box on the map. There will be an exercise ring in the pavilion, and the pavilion will also hold the trade show. The show office will be in the West Wing, where normal livestock office would be for North American. All of tie-outs will be in lot K, and then trailer parking will be in lot H. Lot L and the RV lot, if you have a camper spot, that is where those camper spots will be. And then as far as parking, once move-in is done, lot N, lot H, and lot G is where primarily parking will happen. Now, a little bit of the very front end after move-in of lot L, you know, kind of where unloading area B is, that will be available for parking. It will be very limited and on a first come first serve basis. So just be aware of that. There also is a basketball tournament that's kind of moving out when we're moving in, and there is a basketball tournament moving in when we're moving out. So they are on the south wing, if you will, of the facility. So they shouldn't be they'll primarily take up lot A and lot C for parking. So just to be cognizant. Health requirements. We ask that you upload a copy of health papers through your login portal, through the juniors login portal by Thursday, July 9th. That's the day we'll leave, so we will shut that down. We'll pull that report, and then any of the other ones, we will just have you bring a copy with you. cannot stress bullet point number 2 enough. Livestock exhibiting signs of any infectious, contagious, and communicable disease, such as warts, ringworm, or foot rot, are not eligible for entry, and they are really hard and fast on this rule. If you were one of the very unfortunate, I think there were 19 different head that were quarantined in 2018 and not or 2019 and weren't able to show. So I cannot emphasize that rule enough, is to make sure that there's no signs of any of those warts, ringworm, whatever. I will say that if you have it, cover it up, or if you have even like dead spots and healing, cover it up so they can't see that through the trailer. CBI health paper with the official ID, those are listed within 30 days of entry. Now, there's an asterisk on that as well. If you are in a infected area or an infected state of New World screwworm, we ask, well, the state of Kentucky has a CBI policy within 72 hours. So if you are not from, I believe it's Texas and New Mexico at this point, you are allowed to come in with a 30-day health paper. If you are from Texas and New Mexico, you will need a health paper within the 72 hours and have a vet inspect your animals, just saying that they have found the cattle free of clinical signs of New World screwworm. This also pertains to dogs as well. And while I do not encourage dogs at the National Junior Angus Show, if you bring dogs from Texas and New Mexico, please make sure that they follow those rules as well.
Okay, at the show information, so just a few reminders about rules that we have. This is a fit show. There is no black paint and no aerosols in the makeup area. If you are seen using any of it, you will give a warning. There is no portacools in the barns at Kentucky. They do have a rule. It's the Kentucky facility rule, especially with all the construction going on, that there's no generators allowed inside or outside the barn. This applies to the barn. Now, if you have purchased a tie-out trailer spot, this is separate. The generators are not allowed near the barn. There's no dog tolerance. Caitlin just went over that. And if you bring your dog, please do not bring it up in the makeup ring or the show ring. It will be asked to leave. There is a 3-strike rule. If a heifer gets loose 3 times in the ring, the animal will be disqualified. This is for everyone's safety. All juniors will be required to wear a tucked-in collared shirt while they're in the show ring, except for showmanship. We do have showmanships that are provided by Purina, and you can pick these up at contest check-in. Schedule recap. Advisors, you can come in on Saturday, July 11th. At noon, and this is for advisors only. No one else that we asked to come onto the property yet. You will get stopped into the V lot. After that, cattle can begin arriving after 2 p.m. Once you went to the V lot and you're given a piece of paper that says where you're allowed to go, you will cross the crossover, and that's when you're allowed onto the grounds. We will do check-in on Sunday from 3:30 to 6 in the Broadbent Arena. Contest check-in will be on Sunday as well, but from noon to 2 in the exercise arena. So hopefully that's close to the barn and you can all get over there and sign up for contest. Reminder, this is a few years away or since we've done this, but there is no check-in on Monday. All cattle need to be checked in on Sunday night by 6 o'clock. For check-in, when you're doing contest check-in, don't forget to bring your contest materials. This is like beef science poster. Advisors, if you were going to sign up more states, make sure you have your list for your state teams. For cattle check-in, we need your registration papers, electronic or paper. It doesn't have to be the original. It can be electronic. We just ask that you double check your primary identification, whether that's the tattoo or the EID, and how it reads on the paper. If your tattoo is your primary, that's what needs to be in the ear, and that's what we'll check. If it's an EID, that's what we'll look for. You just need to look at your own paper. Please upload the VQA certification if it's not already uploaded, and you can do that with your health paper too. In your child's AAA login or your member's AAA login, you can go to NJAS. There's a drop down. There's 3 options. One of them is VQA and health certificate. Registration paper versus electronic store. When we check in, we will have someone that's kind of at the gate. So we don't hopefully you don't try to go through too far before you have to go get your cow. We're looking for two things. If you have a physical paper, we're looking for this stamp that's filled out by a regional manager or a staff member that has verified your ID already, or we're looking for an IDV that's on the online version, and it would say IDV and then the date that it was verified. We do allow paper copies and electronic copies. Exhibitor packets. Once you go through the big long check-in process, you're going to get exhibitor packets. There will be numbers. We have a sponsor, Vermeer has sponsored that, so you'll have your show numbers. You also, if you signed up for NJAS Showmanship, you'll have a showmanship number that's sponsored by Purina. You'll see both of their logos so you can tell which one's which. And then the new exhibitors, we had quite a few new exhibitors this year. So they're all going to receive a rope halter and a $25 gift card from the Angus brand store that they can go use at the Angus brand store at Junior Nationals in the vendor area. You'll also be getting a parking pass. Many of you bought these when you did your entries. If you didn't get one, it's okay. You can get one at the livestock office, and those are $20 for the whole week. You will want to get them with us. You will not want to pay at the gate every day because I think it's like $24 per day or something. So we'll try to save you money there. Come to the office if you need more of those. We'll check
Jordan, we have two questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will Vet Check be open all night on Saturday? That is correct. Vet Check will be open 24 hours. And then where are papers stamped? Papers will be stamped. There will be like a tattoo check area in the exercise ring. So papers will be checked in the exercise ring. We'll have some regional managers there, so you don't have to carry your animals or lead your animals all the way to Broadbent. So
you can call the office, you can call our department and just ask for the events team, and we can check if you have already purchased a parking pass. We will tell you once you get on the very first 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, we've asked them to not charge people since you're going to be going through a special way. So just say you're with the National Junior Angus Show, Saturday and Sunday is move-in. After that, they will be requiring parking passes. So you can always get a parking pass at the show office after Sunday.
And then as far as those papers being stamped, they will be stamped during the check-in, cattle check-in process on Sunday early evening.
NJAS Showmanship, we are going to run this 2 rings. We're going to start at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. This is different than last year. Last year, we did it on Monday. We flipped the golf with the golf tournament. So we are going to be on Tuesday for showmanship. We'll do ring 1, novice, junior A, and junior B. And on the other ring, we'll do intermediate A and intermediate B. You will be able to sign up. We had a few people that had not gotten to sign up for showmanship before it closed. We moved it to the contest portal, hoping that was easier. So we did decide to order some extra t-shirts in a limited size. So at contest check-in, you can come sign up for NJAS Showmanship. If we run out of t-shirts or the size that you're looking for, it's going to be your responsibility to find a 2026 Showmanship t-shirt to wear or borrow. We have a sponsor for that, so we just want to make sure all the kids are in the same t-shirt. Yes, we will send this presentation out, a recorded presentation out afterwards. Also, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Most of this information is in the confirmation packet, and we can post these slides if needed to our NJAS.info website page as well.
So there was a little bit of last year during junior or showmanship and extemp with that contest going on. We are going to do it a little bit differently, where an intermediate A is going to start with showmanship, intermediate B is going to start with extemp. So hopefully there's very limited crossover time. Same thing, we'll start with junior B for extemp and novice for showmanship, so that we can allow for some time there. So
Angus Impact this year, Ann Dameron is our vice chairman, and she has picked our Angus Impact for the year and kind of 3 different things at different events. So Junior Nationals is Penny Wars with a Purpose. We're asking you to rally your state and collect your spare change to help us knock out colon cancer out of the park. And how we're going to do it is we ask you just to gather change in different money. And then at the show, we're going to have different jars at the Angus Impact booth with these lovely people on them. And so people can put their money into the jars, and the one with the most money at the end of the week will get a pie to the face at closing ceremonies. For lead, Anne has chosen to support a domestic violence shelter. And so we are going to make tie blankets at lead with all of our attendees. So if your state or your family wants to contribute to that, you can bring fleece and drop it off at Junior Nationals, and we'll take it with us to Orlando. The activity schedule, these are just like some of the activities, not shows, not contest, the activity side of things. Sunday, we'll have AMP and Sweet Treats. On Monday, we'll have the golf tournament, AMP and Sweet Treats again, the Sullivan Supply Clinic, and opening ceremonies in the tailgate. On Tuesday, we'll do NJA showmanship. On Wednesday, there'll be an auxiliary meeting. We'll have Sweet Treats again, and SC Online is going to host their volleyball tournament again, like they did last year. Thursday, we will do Sweet Treats and Family Fun Night. And on Friday, we'll have Sweet Treats again and closing ceremonies. For the show schedule for Tuesday, NJA showmanship, like we said before. Wednesday, we'll start with our bred and owned females and bred and owned bulls. On Thursday, we will have bred and owned cow-calf pairs, owned cow-calf pairs, PGS bulls, PGS females, and showmanship prelims. That will be a very busy day. On Friday, we will do steers, and right after the champion steer is selected, we will do a Supreme Champion Bred and Owned. This is a new award this year that we will do, so all the Bred and Owned winners can come back and compete for Supreme Champion Bred and Owned. Then we will start the owned female show, and we will decide how many divisions we're going to go through after we check in and see how many we would need to do on Saturday. We'll finish with showmanship finals that evening, and then on Saturday, we will finish up with owned females and the owned best 5 head. Contest schedule. This year, all of our contests are sponsored by NJAS Foundation, so we're thankful for that for our contest awards and things. On Sunday, we will do contest sign up from noon to 2 in the exercise ring. We will have the carcass steers are going to get checked, get their ear tags, all the good stuff at 1 o'clock, and then instantly get on the truck and head out on the road. On Monday, we're going to do the team fitting contest and cattle judging. On Tuesday, we'll have NJA showmanship, extemporaneous speaking, skillathon, and the coloring contest. On Wednesday, we'll do team sales and the quiz bowl written test. And on Thursday, we'll finish up with the other half of skillathon. We have changed our skillathon contest a little bit to make it more interactive. So we have it split up between novice and seniors and then juniors and intermediates. So check the schedule to see what day your kid will do skillathon. And then we'll finish that evening before Family Fun Night with quiz bowl finals. On Family Fun Night for Thursday, the Derek Cole Band is going to be playing, and there'll be other entertainment games and activities, and there will be a dinner provided by the American Angus Association. Our candidates this year, we have 6 great candidates this year. The first is Audrey Curtin from Illinois, Kaylee Flood from California, Lily Jeffries from Kentucky, Gage Long from Oklahoma, Maggie Mindeman from Wisconsin, and Lauren Phillips from Iowa. We're super excited for them to go out and meet all the delegates and run for the junior board. Keelan already reviewed this, but just for the people that hopped on a little later, stalling information. You will stall by state. There's no farm signs. We will post as soon as we had just sent our stalling out to advisors. So as soon as they kind of put all of their exhibitors in, we'll share the stalling onto the website so people when they arrive will know where they're stalled at. There's no designated shoe area. All panels in the barn are 10 feet long. So all the wooden panels like this are 10 feet long. And then except if you're in this small section, which Caitlin had already mentioned, the red panels are 12 feet long. And those are in a smaller section in the West Wing and all of West Hall and in traditional tie-outs. Tie-outs are going to be in the K lot. We will clean these daily at 10 a.m. So we ask that everybody clean their tie-outs before 10 a.m. I think you'll want to because it'll be plenty hot outside. So get everything pushed to the middle, and then they're going to take skid steers down the middle and get rid of that every day at 10 a.m. We are going to have pre-built 25 cow-calf pair pens, and that will be first come, first serve. So if you don't want to pack your panels, when you can come onto the property at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Go, if you have a cow-calf pair, you can claim one of those. In traditional tie-out, so that is here in the red that we will sign by state like normal. There is no generators, no portacles, or aisle fans. And then if you notice an animal outside left in the sun, just notify one of us, staff or a host state member. We don't want any animals when it's super hot outside. So please let us know if you see that. We did send a tie-out form today. If you were one of the people that bought a trailer spot, we just ask that you fill that form out and tell us how many animals and whose animals and what state they're from are going in those spots so that we can take them out of the traditional tie-outs and give states what they need for these tie-outs. So if you received that email, be looking, or if you bought a trailer spot, go look in your email. Caitlin sent that out today. Parking, we went over this a little bit, but I think it's super important just because of this facility does require parking passes. So on Saturday and Sunday during move-in, you will not have to have a parking pass. You won't get it until check-in on Sunday evening in your exhibitor packet. But once you come on, you'll come through this crossover right here, and that will get you onto this property. It's a one-way traffic. And the rest of the week, you'll come through this gate 1. And at gate 1, that's where they'll ask for your parking pass. All of you, if you have bought a $20 parking pass, it will be in your exhibitor packet. If you didn't or you don't get one in your packet, you can always go buy one at a show office. We suggest that you do buy them with us for $20 for the entire week instead of $20 or so every time you go to the gate. Vehicles can park. With the construction going on, the parking has changed a little bit. We'll have access to N, P, and G, and our trailer parking will be in lot H. We're hoping that the basketball people, since they're on this south side, will stay on the south side and park over there, but we know that's not always the case, so just be aware of that. Parking day to day could change, and just try to find a spot. Golf carts are required to park just like cars in parking lots, and there will be no tolerance for parking around the barns. You will need to be in a parking spot. Meals and concessions, there will be concessions on the ground throughout the week. There will be a normal concession stand called Cattleman's, a coffee place, and ice cream. Those will be all located in and around the pavilion. We also will provide two meals, one Monday evening during the tailgate and another during family fun night. 3 mornings of the week, we have Donors and Donuts, and that is sponsored by Transova, Blueprint Animal Nutrition, and the Angus Foundation. So before you go into your class or to start the show morning, come grab a donut and visit with these donors. The Angus Foundation silent auction, states can still donate to the silent auction. Just reach out to Chris Stickin or Jimmy Stickley with donated items to promote. The auction will be hosted online through Angus Live. There's lots of ways to follow the show. I know not everyone can make it, especially family members. So if they are looking to watch it or watch class breaks or contests, things like that, you can go to njas.info, and that will have a bunch of our information. Additionally, Walton Webcasting is back again this year, and they will be doing the webcasting. So all of our shows will be broadcasted in contests. And then there's also NJA social media you can follow. Are there any questions or follow-up questions after all of that we can answer for you?
I am going to just go back through this chat. Jordan, I was answering them, but I'm not 100% sure if everyone can see them. So for the BQA, YQCA, if that is expired or you don't have a chance to do that before Junior Nationals, we do have codes for online, the online platform through YQCA, that if you just email events@angus.org with your junior's name and member code asking for a YQCA complimentary code, we can provide those we do have a few limited ones left. We had 200 to begin with, so we're getting down to the very bottom. There will only be one show ring on every day but showmanship. Showmanship is the one ring that will have, or the one day that will have two rings going on at the same time. So showmanship is on Tuesday. That means all of last year's Tuesday's activities moved to Monday. So Monday is the golf tournament, the cook-off, and judging contest and fitting contest. Our cattle released as soon as they are done showing. That is correct. So for example, if you are in the Bred and Owned show on Wednesday and you would like to leave, you're able to do so at the conclusion of the Bred and Owned Bull show on Wednesday. As far as space in the barn, stalling was emailed to all state advisors yesterday, where you're at in the barns and things like that. Each head was allotted just over 4 feet per animal, but the state advisors will assign that. We have an Excel document and we will have that posted before you get there so you know exactly where your stalls are going to be. And then for the trailer tie-outs, those were available for purchase on SC Online a couple weeks ago. And so those Lot H is only for trailer parking. Tie-outs are in Lot K. So Teresa, at this point, there is a very small shoot area that we do have available. So any other questions?
All of the trailer spots have been purchased. Those are sold out, so you cannot purchase any more of those for the trailer tie-out spots.
All right, seeing that there's not any other questions coming through, I don't see any hand raised. So we will let you go. Thank you for joining us. And as always, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to call the office and we will get those taken care of. Thanks everyone for joining.